the street, there's a light in his place. He opens the door, he's got that look on his face, and he asks you where you've been. You tell him who you've seen, and you talk about anything. He's got this dream about buying some land. He's gonna give up the booze and the one-night stands, and then he'll settle down in some quiet little town and forget about everything. But you know he'll always keep moving. You know he's never gonna stop moving, 'cause he's rolling, he's the rolling stone. When you
The tide recedes but leaves behind white seashells on the sand. The sun goes down, but gentle warmth still lingers on the land. The music stops, and yet it echoes on in sweet refrains. For every joy that passes, something new remains. And so we come this morning, and our celebration of Colin's life will focus on the joy and the beauty of the life that he lived and he shared with us. And right at the very beginning, I'm going to invite Vivian to come forward and to give her memories and reflections of the celebration of his life, please.
Okay. Morning. Thank you all for coming today, and to all those streaming in from afar to celebrate Colin's life. Reflecting on our years together these last few days, I was struck by just how much we had done, how much Colin had achieved, and how much there is to share. I could speak for hours, but I promise to keep it brief. Colin, I knew you for more than half my life. Honestly, I never expected to have to say goodbye so soon. That first crooked, mischievous grin you gave me got me hook, line, and sinker. Your corny jokes and dry, quirky sense of humor pulled me in further. So much so that I mastered the art of sighing and rolling my eyes just to suppress the laughs your jokes constantly provoked. We were together 24/7. We worked for the same companies in the same buildings, and even when we struck out together on our own, we did it together. We had tremendous fun in the process. Colin had a knack of giving me that look during long, serious management meetings, or any awkward situation for that matter, that would make me giggle at the most inappropriate times. We understood each other's frustrations perfectly and often sought each other out for those most needed smoke breaks on the balcony. Colin had an incredible work ethic and the intellectual versatility to tackle almost anything. But his talents didn't stop at the office. He was a master craftsman, electrician, plumber, builder, and tiler, a true handyman who could fix or create anything he set his mind to. His workmanship surpassed most so-called professionals, and he found deep personal fulfillment in getting the job done right. Whenever we went on a road trip, no matter the distance, he'd often opt for the longer, scenic or forbidden to see where it would take us, even if it meant getting lost. And he'd yak away about everything under the sun or sit in comfortable silence listening to music. On our school adventures, he loved to tease me when I fed the fish. His personal mission was to see if he could make me laugh underwater, like the time he gave me at Lake Valentine's Road, mid-bow, knowing exactly how I found it, knowing exactly how how corny I found it, and burst out laughing. Colin was one of the most groundbreaking people I ever knew. No need for airs or graces, trial or impressive. He accepted you for who you were. He found you tooth and nail for the last job, or piece of bullseye, both reflecting blood on his life, and run out if you try to keep you mentioned. If a fire were this, you could be assured it would turn into a bonfire of note that would be fed and nurtured until the wee hours of the morning. It was never surprised to me that he could talk all about that. He was always willing to listen and provide sensible advice, possessing that rare ability to remove the emotion from the situation and think it through clearly. He was also the one who saved the local rain spider population from near extinction at our house. And honestly, I'm not sure who's going to help me pull porcupine quills out of Max's face or bum now. But in all seriousness, in any crisis, big or small, Colin was the calm, steady one. He was our anchor and our rock. To Claire, Lisa, Cynthia, Gavin, and Shelley, and Brian and Keith, and all of Colin's close friends, I've had the privilege of reading your messages for Colin today. Not the easiest of tasks. Every single message was spot on. Thank you for capturing his true spirit and essence so perfectly. I will let your words continue to speak for who he was. Jaden, my heart breaks for you. These past few days, we've shared so many memories that triggered both heavy tears and much needed laughter. There is not a single doubt in my heart that your dad loved you more than anything. He understood you better than you might even know. You were his greatest pride, and I know he was your rock. I promise I will do everything in my power to help you remember what a wonderful man your father was. Colin, thank you for the laughs, our beautiful daughter, and the life we built. Jaden and I will always love you and miss you terribly already.
You've got a cute way of talking. You got the better of me. Just snap your fingers and I'm walking like a dog hanging on your lead. I'm in a spin, shaking on a string, You make me feel like dancing. I'm gonna dance the night away. You make me feel like dancing. I'm gonna dance the night away. You make me feel like dancing. I feel like dancing, dancing, dance the night away. I feel like dancing, dancing. Quarter to 4 in the morning.
I hope Colin is at the moment that he's dancing and enjoying life. I'm going to please ask Keith to come forward, Colin's best friend, and he's going to read his own message, plus one from Brian and Ian. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. So I was asked to read out uh, two of his friends in Joburg who sent speeches down. So I'll read theirs and then I'll read mine. This one is from, Hi, my name is Brian Philpott. I had the privilege of saying a few words on this day. Colin and I go back, give or take 35 years. In this time, we got to know each other pretty well and eventually became bosom buddies, but always staying professional when needed. Our friendship grew from strength to strength to a point that we became inseparable. Colin called a spade, and sometimes, well, maybe always, he would be quite stubborn, like me. One always knew where you stood with him. Yes, we had our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, all was settled and all hatchets buried. We had nicknames for each other. His was Flange, and mine, well, I won't disclose it at this time. We gave each other these early on in our friendship. It's not easy to be, it's not to be taken literally. And for those who need to know, well, you can say it was sort of relates back to our fuel depot and service station maintenance days. In closing, Colin loved his family very much, and he was a friend in a million. I'm definitely going to miss him, and especially our 1 to 1.5 hour telephone conversations. Colin, my true friend, you will be greatly missed. Flange, my brother, may your soul rest in peace. Okay, this message is from Ian Fenton, a high school friend. Colin and I became friends when I changed schools to go to Greenside High in Standard 8, then grade 6. We did the same subjects and were considered the Doffy class because we were non-academic. We did woodwork, art, home economics. But surprisingly, I found a lot of the people in the class were actually very bright, and we just did not fit into the regular school model. Colin, like most of us in that class, liked to stay below the radar, never an academic or sport achiever, but also doing enough to keep out of trouble most of the time. He used the same speech with minor alterations for every subject from Standard 8 right to matric, even doing it in Afrikaans. Colin rode a Honda SS 50cc motorcycle in those days, probably the slowest of all the motorcycles that were at the school. But he was not fazed about that. I was jealous because my parents would not allow me to have a motorcycle. Colin smoked from the day I met him, and I guess he was smoking long before that too. His prized possession was a Dunhill rolled gold cigarette lighter that he had. He never told me where he acquired the lighter, only that it was not acquired legitimately. I ran into Colin after school when we were up in Katima Malilo in Namibia doing our national service. He was in the Panzers and I was in the engineers. We chatted regularly up there along with a number of other schoolmates that happened to be there at the time. After finishing 2 years of national service, I would see Colin riding around in Johannesburg CED, City Engineering Department, red Nissan 1400 Bucky. I kind of lost track of him after that and was surprised, but not really surprised, to hear that he had gone to university and obtained a degree in engineering and had traveled fairly extensively around the world. We met up again a number of years back, around the time he came back from Tanzania, when someone organized a school reunion brunch, and I have been in contact from time to time ever since. I helped out with some minor stuff with the Parker's house and visited him there the last time he was doing some major woodwork. My heart breaks for Vivian and Jaden, having lost him as a husband and a father. I pray that the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will fill your hearts and minds. Okay, this is my speech a little bit longer. Colin lived 66 years, and in those years, he built a life defined no helmet, while Colin calmly settled down the road as if it were the most normal thing in the world. One night, that little Honda took us much further than usual. We headed off to Hillbrow, a considerable distance away, and after some revelry, we were on our way home when traffic officers spotted us and gave chase. In a split-second decision, Colin and I parted company, Colin disappearing into the night on the trusty Honda and me on foot. I was apprehended by 3 burly traffic officers and driven around in search of Colin, but he had made a clean getaway. Eventually, these frustrated officers dropped me back in the middle of Hillbrow, leaving me to find my own way home, which I finally did around 4:30 the next morning. It became one of the stories we laughed about for years. After our time at the cinema, life took us in different directions. Colin matriculated and went off to do his military service, and like so many friendships formed in youth, we lost contact. Then, in 2014, a chance meeting brought us back together. He told me he had relocated to Port Elizabeth, and before we parted, we exchanged numbers. Shortly after that, Colin invited us to Jaden's 4th birthday party. Jaden, being between the ages of my 2 daughters, naturally drew our families closer. What began as a reconnection quickly grew genuine. On job taken a day and a half. Part was the house still frames were uneven. Appeared to be family aliens. I knocked one. We cleaned up the pieces, and no sooner had we finished than I stepped back and my elbow sent the second vase off its pedestal. In that split second, Colin reacted without hesitation. He dived forward and caught the vase just before it hit the ground. Crisis averted, and I swear, that dive was Springbok scrum half material. That moment says everything about Colin. Calm under pressure, quick to act, and always ready to step in when it mattered. Whether it was saving a vase, fixing a problem, or helping a friend. I will personally miss Colin deeply. I will miss our nostalgic chats about Johannesburg, reminiscing about the adventures and friendships of our youth. To his wife, Vivian and Jade, my deepest sympathy. May the memory sustain you. I hope you take comfort in knowing that his spirit, guidance, and kindness will continue to live on in your hearts. Today, we mourn the loss of Colin Alonzo, but also celebrate his life, a life that mattered, a life well lived, and a life that will never be forgotten. Colin, thank you for your friendship, your loyalty, and for all the memories. From cinema shifts and that little gold Honda to family gatherings, cycling, races, and those perfectly timed dives that saved more than just vases. You will be deeply missed. You will never be forgotten. May your soul rest in peace.
We're going to listen to a message from his daughter on his first marriage, please.
Old man, Cole, Dad, Daddy. I never imagined having to say goodbye like this. It still feels surreal. I think we always see our parents as an unchanging constant in our lives. But today, we need to say goodbye. You had the best and worst dad jokes, the types of jokes that you couldn't help but roll your eyes at and let out a loud groan. I can't help but think that you would have enjoyed the irony of my last birthday message to you, that you could never be old because you were so young at heart. I know you'd definitely crack a joke about it now. You're always keen to share a laugh and make new memories, and always so fun, friendly, and playful. Like when you would press every emoji button during our Skype calls every single time. I loved to share in your stories, and I know everyone who knew you loved talking to you, and most of the time you even enjoyed it too. I'll always be grateful for your adventurous spirit that rubbed off on me. My love for nature, hiking, and competitiveness all came from you. I smile whenever I think about you trying to beat the younger cyclists. Often when I've been on a beach with waves crashing around me, I would imagine us sitting together and talking while you had an ice-cold beer. I'll always think of you whenever I sit around a big fire, and I really wish that we would have had the chance to have done it one last time together. My only regret is not pestering you last week about your trip to see us. I wanted to give you the weekend before I bugged you with my constant planning. I wish I had called you. Still, I know you knew how excited both Lisa and I were to show you our lives and see you in person. I keep thinking back to the last few months and our conversations about all of your new activities, making friends, and just having an absolute blast. From the moths, the pensioners' walk, or cycling club, just to name a few, it brings me peace knowing you were living every day to the fullest, all while constantly growing and experiencing new things. I know that's something I'll aspire towards. I will and do already miss your voice. I miss your terrible jokes and the way they would still make me laugh. I miss your stories. Your time was cut short, and regardless of how unfair I find it, I'm forever grateful for the time we had together. Eye rolls and all. Goodbye, Dad. I love you.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles are turning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, na 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 na. Here comes the sun, I say it's alright.
You were a restless soul, always on some kind of adventure or working on a new project.
You hated rules and questioned everything. Something the life to his kids. While your witty comments and jokes made our eyes water, it seems to be a theme running through all the tribute this morning. They were always appreciated and warmed up the room. I guess the same goes for your random dance moves, clapping and singing to some of the best music that shaped me into who I am today. I always appreciated your intuition, our deep conversation, and your wisdom. You had such a good heart, and I can't wait to tell Owen all about the type of person you were. Thank you for teaching me so much about life. I can only hope that one day I'm half as fearless, adventurous, and curious as you were. The show must go on. Inside, my heart is breaking. My makeup might be flaky, but my smile will stay on. Love you always, Dad. From you. I even begin. There are so many memories, so many special moments that we hold close to our hearts today. From the time I was very young, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. So you can only imagine my absolute delight when taking a little run. Colin became my first and most devoted student, sitting among all my teddy bears on the bedroom floor as I played teacher. Even then, he had a mischievous streak, always grew deeper. When Colin moved to Port Elizabeth, he became the person I turned to ever I needed advice. The voice of reason and comfort, no matter what I was facing. What we shared was a lifelong connection woven from childhood memories, deep love, fierce protection, and yes, a bit of playful sibling rivalry. Unwavering support and companionship, and was always my sense of home, especially in times of need. Through very difficult moments, he was my rock. There was this ongoing family joke about who was actually the older sibling. The last time Colin visited Johannesburg, my son asked his girlfriend, right in front of Cole, who she thought was older between us. Without hesitation, she said, Colin. We've been laughing about that ever since. Gavin and Shelley shared something truly special with Colin as well. The three of them had the same quirky sense of humour, always trading silly jokes and witty remarks that would have everyone in stitches. He was such a tremendous support to both of them. Colin was there when Gavin bought his first home, guiding him through every step with his trademark spreadsheets and meticulous research. And when Shells needed help with DIY projects around the house, Colin taught her everything he knew. Whenever she got stuck, she'd video call him, and he would patiently walk her through whatever needed fixing. Shells will always treasure the memory of teaching him how to drink water upside down to cure his hiccups when he stayed with her in London. We laughed until we cried. We had such a wonderful time together. Colin was such a beautiful soul, so kind, so caring, with such a tender love for his animals. His gentle heart touched everyone he knew. We will miss him more than words could ever express. He will live on forever in our hearts, in our memories, in every laugh we shared and every moment of love. Gone, but never, ever forgotten. We love you, Cole. From Beverly Roll, Colin's ex-wife. Dearest Colin, I have such fond memories of all the shenanigans we got up to. From you changing my report cards, to you giving me lifts on your 50cc until you upgraded to your precious Honda, and pulling me up First Avenue on Marmalade. Our first car, our first home, and definitely our precious daughters. I have known you for 90% of my life, and will always think back with very warm memories. You have and always will be in my thoughts. Love, Bev. And finally, from Bev Mills, a lifelong friend. I first met Colin in late 1964 when his family moved next door in Parkhurst. He told me I hopped the low wall and gave him my name, although I don't remember doing it. What I do remember is a childhood spent largely with him as an extreme sport. As I said in a message shared with him on the 23rd of November, he rightly pointed out that we lived in the best era. We spent our time outdoors, except for chilly nights in winter playing cards. Being with Colin was always excited. His spirit of adventure was huge. He invariably spent time where we weren't allowed to be or doing things we ought not to have been doing. The sluices of Parkview Golf Course, the trees of Craighall Pond, collecting clay to claylut, climbing the tall plane trees on 11th Street and spending hours up there overlooking the suburbs, sliding down banks on the playing fields of the Parkhurst Primary School, stealing fruit off the neighbors' trees, sneaking on back walls the entire length of all the properties on the block on which we lived, cycling on the street for hours, building clubhouses, establishing gangs, making catapults, bows and arrows, kites, skateboards with old skates. We drove the old neighbors crazy with our antics and our noise. We used dove calls, whistling through cupped hands to call each other. We snuck out late night to swim in the pool he helped his father dig. I climbed down the strategically placed ladder beneath my window. We played records, learned lyrics. The Who, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Uriah Heep. We were there for each other when things got difficult in the family, but we seldom discussed issues. We just knew them. In Parkhurst, the houses were so close. No secrets. Yes, there were tough times, but we just picked up where we had left off in later years. I started school a year before he did, so moved in a different crowd to him at high school. After school, things got easier. Colin had many special qualities. He loved animals, and they him. He never bullied, was never mean, and seldom spoke badly of anyone. He was kind and forgiving. He was incredibly clever, good with his hands, ingenious in many respects. It was always good to meet up with him. I had an incredible, overwhelming surge of affection whenever we saw each other. He was my brother, and I felt it. He was exceptionally good with small children when he was young, and he was an excellent father. My heart goes out to his 3 daughters. He was so very proud of all of them. Since I was assisting him with organizing his visa for Canada, I know that he was desperately keen to see his grandson. It was such a pity it was never to be. My deepest condolences also go to Cynthia, Gavin, Shelley, Bev, and Vivian. His presence will be sorely missed. There's so much I wish I could have been for Colin. There was so much still to do for him. I miss him very, very deeply. I will remember him with love and thanks, always. As we gather in celebration of Colin's life, I want to thank you for being here, for being part of the celebration. You're invited to tea in the hall, which is just adjoining, but at the end of the service, when the music plays, please allow me to lead Vivian and Jaden out, and then you can follow them. To everything, there is a season and a time for every purpose here on earth. A time to be born and a time to die. In sadness at his death, but with appreciation for his life, we remember Colin and we acknowledge the significance and the value that he brought to our lives. But now it's time to say a final goodbye. We have committed his body to be cremated, and thus committed his memory to our hearts for the rest of our days. In love, we leave him in peace, and with respect, we bid him farewell. So to each one, particularly Vivian, Jaden, those watching via the live stream, his daughters, may you find inner healing that mends your hearts and soothes your soul. And let this healing be a source of comfort and resilience for you today and in the days that lie ahead. May Colin rest in peace as we give thanks and celebrate his life. Thank you.
Someone like you, love, love me do. You know I love you. I'll always be true. So please, love me do. Oh, love me do. Love, love me do. You know I love you. I'll always be true. So please, love me do. Oh, love me do. Yeah, love me do. Oh, love me do.
Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and the daffodils. Catch the breeze and the winter chills in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly blaze, swirling clouds in violet haze, reflect in Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain, are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now, for they could not love you, but still your love was true. And when no hope was left inside on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night, portraits hung in empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like the strangers that you've met, the ragged men in ragged clothes, a silver thorn, a bloody rose, lie crushed and broken on the virgin snow. And now I think I know what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never
If you search for tenderness, it isn't hard to find. You can have the love you need to live. But if you look for truthfulness, you might just as well be blind. It always seems to be so hard to give. Honesty is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. Honesty is hardly ever heard, and mostly what I need from you. I can always find someone to say they sympathize if I wear my heart out on my sleeve. But I don't want some pretty face to tell me pretty lies.